comment of a general nature they'd like to bring forth?
Eric Hyde, 66046. It's the heritage ones for the Hispanic stuff. I want to speak in Spanish a little bit. Hola Dios. Gracias por las noches. Gracias por la municipalidad de Lawrence. Tú es grande, tú es bueno. Thank you. Amen. Wait, I forgot how to say it. I know it's amen is in Spanish. All right, so what I wanted to say was we're going to bring up an ordinance that Lisa Larson signed into effect on the 19th. And there's been a big issue about letting me be a volunteer. And I want to say that it was passed. I'm finally an official volunteer. I don't know if anybody of you had anything here to do with that. If you did, thank you. But yeah, official volunteer for Parks and Rec, taking care of parks. Yeah, just I release all liability if I get hurt and all that stuff. Let's see here. So this ordinance is 9680. Person in the ordinance applies to anybody in this room. Let's just skip that. I want to mention this. The governing body, which is, anyway, hereby gives notice to the public that the chief of police has the authority to close public rights-of-way areas in order to protect the health, safety, and welfare of this community in cases of emergency or when it is anticipated that there will be a large influx of people to a particular area of the city. The homeless could be an example because they're about to move around, so you can shut down some areas. This is what I wanted to read. This is what applies to me. In the event of an emergency, in order to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the community, a person, which could be me, may perform temporary work in the public right-of-way or may use the public right-of-way on a temporary basis without first acquiring from the city a right-of-way permit. So that's me there. It shall unlawful acts. It shall be unlawful unless otherwise permitted or exempted hereunder for any person intentionally to obstruct traffic in a public right-of-way. It's a big deal. Municipal offense is a minimum fine of $1,000, maximum fine of $2,500 for each day. So why aren't you guys enforcing this? You can make a lot of money on this. Here you go. Sorry, I lost my temper. But here you go. If you want to look at that later, I printed it out for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
Sean Coffey, 66049, and I've probably been up here more times tonight than any of us will ever care to have me again. But I had a little lesson earlier on a consent agenda, and I'll figure out how to deal with that in the future. But if I had the opportunity, I wanted to talk about D6B. That's the increase in the retiree health insurance premium by 16%. Didn't really have a concern about that. I understand the cost, but what I'd like to recommend to the city is the consideration of placing a retiree on that health insurance advisory committee. And I would like to be considered maybe somebody from public safety, in that public safety can retire at 50 and they can be on it for up to 15 years. So having a representative that might have a voice through that process, I think would be good for the retirees. It's been done in the past. There have been people on that position before. And so obviously I couldn't get it done through consent agenda. So having a voice to be able to would be important, I think, for the retirees as it relates to the health insurance. Thank you for your time. So.
Hello, David Baston. Let's see. I'm concerned that we need to address the escalating cycle of rhetoric in our city commission meetings, particularly evident at the September 9th, 2025 discussion on Fuse's surveillance system. I'm troubled that a commissioner's pattern of rhetoric installs fear. This approach not only fuels propaganda among residents, especially younger ones who already feel the government is out to get them, but also undermines the collaborative spirit that defines our community. This commissioner's remarks on September 9th included references to foreign agents flipping switches, many times referred to that, and their invocation of Martin Niemöller's First They Came poem framed governance as a potential threat, akin to historic oppression, while intending to protect marginalized groups. Such language amplifies fears and systematic overreach, particularly when the fuchsia's integration is a limited, plausible tool for law enforcement efficiency, not mass surveillance. In the wake of national events like the tragic assassination of Charlie Kirk and polarized reactions that it sparked, this rhetoric risked deepening distrust by portraying government as adversarial, and puts people at risk of bodily harm that are of particular groups or views. I respectfully propose the following: establish guidelines for commissioners' rhetoric, adopt voluntary standards of public statements that prioritize de-escalation and exclusionary, my glasses. Ensuring advocacy and equity avoids fear mongering and personal attacks.
Thanks, David.
Hi, this is Chris Flowers. It's been I was going to talk about this a couple weeks ago, but I had technical difficulties. But you all did a DUI checkpoint. I believe it's been a few weeks at least. But my understanding is that it was done over by Tennessee or Kentucky, which most of them they're always done over there, and it was done at night. And I'm just here to once again ask, when will you all do a DUI checkpoint during the day? And let's do it in West Lawrence. Why is it always the same area, the same time of the day? At nighttime, and let's be honest, you are all targeting college students. So I mean, don't act like it's very inequitable, because you're targeting a certain demographic of the town. And so I just want to throw that out there. By always doing it in the same area and the same time, you are targeting a certain demographic. And also, I had a coworker get pulled over by the cops a couple weeks ago, and she got her car searched because they smelled marijuana. And so I just want to throw that out there. When you do that $1 fine to say, oh well, we're not going to go after marijuana, but then the cops are still pulling people over, and then if they smell something, they're searching the car. And they weren't actually searching for marijuana, they were probably searching for harder drugs, but that's the reason that they gave. And here's the kicker, it wasn't marijuana, it was legal hemp products. She didn't even have it in her car. She was just around people that were smoking it, and it was legal stuff bought at a vape shop. So I just want to throw that out there. How can your cops smell the difference between marijuana, which is illegal, and hemp products like THCA or Delta 9 that are legal? And if the answer is, well, they can't, then maybe they shouldn't be searching people's cars to begin with. If they can't tell the smell between something that's legal and illegal, then why is it's okay for them to just assume, oh, it must be illegal. Why can't they just assume that it's the legal version? So I want to throw that out there. And then earlier you're talking about commercial. We need to expand the commercial tax base. Do away with your regulations on adult-oriented businesses. Like that, you shut down All Stars a couple of years ago. That'd be a business that could be making us tax money right now. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. Anybody else? Anybody online, Sherry?
Yes. We have a couple. Julie Jones.
Hi, Julie Jones, 66047. I'm a retired teacher, inner city, Kansas City, and I witnessed tonight again a behavior from a city commissioner that I only saw with middle school students. And I think my message to the commissioner tonight is you need to check yourself, because you asked a question and then interrupted the speaker when they were talking, and you did it 5 times. But when they tried to answer you, you informed them, do not interrupt me. I'm appalled that a public servant who serves us, we don't work for you, was talking to the public that way. My message to you is you need to check yourself. Thank you.
Billy?
Kincaid Dennett. You're muted, Kincaid.
Sorry about that. Kincaid Dennett, 66044. I want to thank the commission for providing clarity on the work group versus community engagement. That was a point of feedback that I was getting from folks in the commission where you hit the nail on the head, that folks were concerned that this was going to be like a library session and then move on. The other key point that folks have been asking to be addressed is whether or not, when the commission seemed to come to consensus on pausing future integrations and AI analytics, if that was part of the final decision or if that was left out of the final decision. So I wanted to flag that for y'all. Being in the room, it did appear to me as though that was part of the final. I didn't hear anybody say, no, let's cut that part. It seemed like through the process, it was clarified that it wouldn't damage Lawrence Police Department readiness or ability to do their job. And it would also give assurance to the community that while we work on this process, we're not chasing after a rollout. So I just wanted to provide that clarification, and thank you all for your time and attention to this, and stick around for another really long night. Thank you all very much.
Thanks, Kincaid.
That's all the comments, Mayor.
All right, thank you very much. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Second. Okay, motion to adjourn by Sellers, seconded by Larson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Good night,
Have a good
everybody.
night, everyone.
Good night.